Hi, hello, welcome to the Oracle Consularship brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene, Priestess of Losi. I'll be your Oracle today. I was sent to deliberate the findings for the channeled reading. We'll be using This Might Hurt Tarot, that's by Isabella Rotman, to impose the guidance. That's the overall baseline energy here. If anything resonates deeply with you, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you for your continued support. You belong, so welcome home. Vertex of Abundance is the galactic temple of ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. We'll also be using the minor arcana of the cosmic coven tarot to deliberate the findings for any type of like repeating numbers. Those are called pairings. So like a pair of this, a triple this, a set of this. I woke up to a song by Usher. Baby, how you doing? Hope everything is fine. Want to know what you got in mind? It might be seduction. Some of the factions of the brigade or the nation are saying, the collective are saying that Usher is problematic these days. I don't actually know. I have yet to form an opinion. I'm just acknowledging any type of. So what I'm getting is that we're progressively moving forward, and there's some energy that keeps circling around, coming back around to see if they can block our path or oppose us in some kind of way. They want to seal us in, seal us shut on a couple different things. Number one, they don't want our gate open. They don't want our road open. Number two, I feel like the camera is weird. I'm gonna move the camera for a second. Pardon me, dear. And on the other hand, it's almost as if like they would like to seal our gate, seal our door, also like prevent our gift from working. But the thing is like we go inside for answers. So we could weather a storm, we could do all those things. All the tactics that break another soul only lift us up, okay? And something is coming in, it's definitely being established or manifested or something of that line, something of those nature. Okay, okay, I heard that. Um, we have Six of Wands. We're going to lay four cards. That's the overall core central concrete energy. We will lay more, but those will be to modify or clarify. These are going to be the central energy. You have the Six of Wands, Page of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Two of Swords, Six of Wands, Page of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Two of Swords. Again, Six of Wands, Page of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Two of Swords. If the reading goes a little too slow, or if it's a little too long, you can always increase the playback speed. It'll reduce it up to half, but I will sound like a chipmunk. And then usually, not always, but usually in the show notes or the about section or the description box between the Hamza hands, there's a link to a summary. You can check it out if you want. So Six of Wands is this energy of victory and triumph, but really what it means is we've been chosen, six, for an exalted status, wands. It also could be receiving Six of Wands glory. Page of Now the thing about this is separation from other sixes is there needed to be some kind of struggle or strife, or there needed to be some type of trial, gauntlet thrown down even. Page of Swords, it could be a couple few different things. I am not always happy with the Page of Swords, but here it's talking about feeling indecisive or feeling unclear. So there's the need for scrutiny because the pages are being prepared to receive. This is supreme or absolute authority, and it may just be that we're beginning to learn about our intellect, reasoning, communication as well. Page of Pentacles, they're being prepared to receive a material blessing. This could be tribute also, whether we're pledged to tribute or we're making tribute. And the Two of Swords, this is when the facts are not clear and we need to scrutinize, discern, ask questions, or learn, or if the facts are clear, we're still needing to arrive at a conclusion based on our feelings. It's either or. It can also be something of an opposing mind, but with this Page of Swords, it's saying, again, we're feeling indecisive. So we have our second six, that's of cups, that's receiving anointing. With the Hierophant, it can be a sacred office here, but we also have the Seven of Swords. Directionally, it's saying that there's an agreement here in the spiritual Six of Cups, and regardless of what's going on down here, because it seems like some nasty McNasty, Page of Swords and the Seven of Swords, that's sideways, seditious, sneaky, trifling, treacherous, treasonous. It's a Jezebella or Judas or Jonah. It's a little putana, something like that. Over the next 3 months, we're also going to see that there's been a hidden element. It may have been an ulterior motive, a hidden agenda, a hidden enemy. We had an inkling to a source, but we kind of didn't really have all that we needed. I get that. Both of these statements exist, and they're hard to reconcile in the beginning. As we get older, we'll trust our intuition more, or we'll completely abandon it. It's either or. It's very rarely in the middle, unless we do so in certain environments. Like at work, we're logical, then at home, we're all intuition. So expect evil not until you see it, because once an enemy can never be a friend, because you never were. We reward loyalty with loyalty and disrespect with distance. So it might take us a moment to really see the evil, or to see the shady, or to see the backhandedness, but once we see it, we can never unsee it. Because also you got to trust your gut. Whatever your gut, your intuition is saying, go with it, and the clarity will come later. Sometimes, especially early on, we do the why of the why of the why of the why, the how, and whatever. We would never imagine them doing such a thing, because we could never do that to somebody else. So we expect people to have our own heart, and that's just the thing. That's not how it is. Believe it or not, there'll be some shady ass people out there. Okay, and here's what's up. You know, I'm gonna just say it. We start off either innocent or naive, and then we grow from that. So innocent people are not really naive. They just believe everybody has a good heart. That's what innocence is. Naivete is believing people have a good nature. Innocence is believing people have a good heart. Okay? So until you've seen somebody be cruel and nasty and spiteful and hateful and bitter, you're going to remain innocent. That comes from a wound. You lose your innocence from a wound. And then naivete, you just need to have a bad experience, and then you're no longer naive. So it's saying like something started a week ago that's starting to pay off, but it's been something that's been percolating for about 3 weeks, because over this next season, few things are going to happen. Mainly, we're going to step into some kind of sacred off, some type of spiritual duty obligation. Did I call that out? Four of Swords, Three of Cups, Seven of Cups, Temperance. It's literally saying that the universe is giving us witness, testimony, and they're hearing our prayers. But it's not necessarily going to happen the way that we thought. It's going to take a little time, but it's also going to come in twice as good as we were hoping for. So whatever we're imagining, we need to times it by like 3 or maybe even 10, some of us. So it'll seem like a lull, it'll seem like a loss, it'll seem like no crickets, basically, spiritually. Oh God, you didn't hear my prayer. Well, let me give you this protection right now, and let me give you this blessing and glory in a couple few minutes, which is like actually 3 weeks to 3 months. Okay, is how this looks, dear. Um, don't worry, I'm included in this as well. Let's see, Knight of Wands. Did I call this out? Five of Pentacles, King of Swords, Hangman, Death card. I went right to the read down. Yeah, so I already said what this is, but let me call out these cards now. Five of Pentacles, King of Swords, Hangman, Death card. Oh, now we have the Knight of Wands, Nine of Swords, Devil. Three of Swords, Sun, Knight of Cups. And so this is about positioning ourselves in the world, and it may be some type of role, but it's not necessarily about what we do in that role, because it's basically the universe, the light, the divine is working through us. Because basically, we're a vessel of the divine soul, Knight of Cups and Sun card, and that actually kind of, we heal from some kind of spiritual attachment or some kind of pinnacle of darkness where the light for a moment couldn't hit, couldn't pierce, because we needed to kind of whittle through and go through some type of indecision, some kind of hardcore, firm, unyielding discernment, which also means scrutiny. Two of Swords, Page of Swords, because we're in this devil. Nine of Swords. That normally means a spiritual attachment. With the Sun, that means we're being hunted and targeted in some way. And when we go through the clarifying energy, it's basically saying, like, yeah, we need discernment and scrutiny. We're feeling indecisive because there's an energy here that wants us to kind of either bark at shadows like a little chihuahua, or be scared of our own shadow, or the things that go rustle in the bushes, the things that go bump in the night, to haunt us, to spook us. They want us so scared that we can't move and definitely can't take action. Could we have a triple three here? So that's cliques, that's covens, that's cabals. There's a harbinger of dissent, there's a harbinger of discord, there's a harbinger of disapproval. I'm reading too fast. Let me say that again. There's a harbinger of dissent. Three of Cups, there's a harbinger of discord. Three of Swords, there's a harbinger of disapproval. What I thought was the Three of Wands is actually the Three of Pentacles. So that's the harbinger of, it's like a dispossession or disenfranchised. The disapproval isn't here. We have a lot of multiples here. And the way this is going is it's almost as if this energy is either hoping or under the impression that if they put enough pressure, if they block enough things, we won't keep trying. And it's not an abandon, it's that we'll take the low hanging fruit. So normally, the way that attacks will work is that they want us to abandon our path. But this specifically wants us to kind of settle, take the low hanging fruit. But what they don't understand is, yeah, okay, you're sending all this sword energy, but we have the King of Swords on our side. So that Nine of Swords designed to haunt us, to spook us, to make us feel guilty and shameful. Actually, this makes us very clear on the sacrifices we made to arrive at this conclusion. This Two of Swords, okay, normally that would be indecisive, but actually, with the King of Swords, it makes us want discernment, want to deliberate, want to investigate, examine what it is that's coming forward and presenting to us. And there is some type of projection here. Seven of Cups, Seven of Swords. A pair of sevens is an alert. The alert is to some kind of facade or mirage or illusion or gaslighting, Seven of Cups, because there's some type of manipulation. Something might be imposture, Seven of Swords. Something might be a facade, Seven of Cups. And then unfortunately, with the pages out, that's the confirmation. Because pages are Venusian or the descendant. So we have Page of Swords with the Seven of Swords. That means feeling sneaky. It's also a harbinger of some kind of spy, Judas, Jonah, Jezebel. So we have Carmela and Jezebella here. Karmics, the karmics is what I'm saying. Maybe even pick Misha. Because the devil makes everything around it kind of horrible, but it's acceptable to this other side that we're dealing with, whatever this double energy is here, which could be anything from evil, sinister, wicked, miserly, embittered. It could also be unhealed, unawakened with the Seven of Cups, those living in the swamp, living in sin, based in fear, ignorance, illusion, falsities. Something is clearly over. They don't want it to be so. The one bad apple spoils the whole bunch. Temperance and the devil. There's a little bit of fanaticism here as well. Because the end of moderation is here. Death and the temperance, and the end of toxicity is here as well. Death and the devil. However, something is gonna be damned here with the Nine of Swords. Unfortunately, whatever negative energy that is collecting is gonna go somewhere, and we have the King of Swords. It's not gonna go to us. And this is an energy that came in kind of looking friendly, but it was a disguise with the Temperance card and the Nine of Cups. That's shape-shifting. That's shape-shifting. So something here tried to bind or block our growth, vitality, renewal, expansion, reinvigoration, enumeration, enlightenment. Three of Swords in the Sun. Something here tried to, and it did it in a loving way. It came in looking like positive or like a friendly Knight of Cups, but in reality, it was a bigot, a hater. Knight of Wands with the devil. That's a dark horse, essentially. There's so much more to say there, but I'll leave it there and keep it clean. It's a dark horse. Okay? Let me just tell you. That's a no. The devil, the Three of Swords with the Knight of Wands, clarified by the Five of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Swords. No, thank you. No, thank you. Because it means the devil that you, hangman and the devil, that's the devil that you know, are stuck in a bad place. And unfortunately, none of this is accidental on the opposing side. It's just not. Now, the Knight of Cups with the devil can be a swindler, can be an abuser, can be somebody who's addicted, or it could simply be a Cancer rising, but we don't have any other Cancer energy here, not a one. We also have a Scorpio rising here, Knight of Cups and the Death card, but that would also mean that there's the end of toxicity. And again, it's for us, the end of toxicity is on our side, not this other side. This other side steps deeper into it. I'm just going to say what it is. This other side steps deeper into it. And I thought there wasn't a four. Whatever I concluded from that was necessary, but we have a Four of Swords here. So this is pinned down. Something basically created evil and then gave itself a quarantine zone, an energetic barrier, but it's not working. It's actually degrading. Their protection is degrading. This is indicative of like an energy that sends harsh, toxic energy towards us, And if that energy were to come back to them, they're not strong enough to withstand it. That's an I'm rubber, you're glue, whatever you say bounces off of me and goes back to you, sticks to you. Well, the glue was tossing stuff at us, not recognizing that we were rubber. And so, whatever energy got projected our way, Seven of Cups is projection. We were way too strong, way too solid, way too in the light, way too divine for that to work. But since this energy is living in illusion, delusion, confusion, living in sin, miserly, embittered, Seven of Cups, they're in the swamp, they're unhealed, unawakened. Their mind was never going to fathom. All they could see was the luck that they had by finding somebody that they can attack, and that might not have been their intention. But that's all they were able to do because they needed to siphon or to strip, or they're feeling left out, abandoned, or they were going through some type of hardship. So there is a Sagittarius rising here. It also could be Venus in Gemini or the third or seventh house. There's also Mercury in Hierophant. Mercury in Taurus here. There's Venus in Scorpio or the eighth house. There's Mercury in Taurus or the second house. There's Virgo rising. And we have 2, 3, and 4 of swords. So this energy here successfully. Uh, there's one other thing here that I'm detecting is that this energy, whatever this is, because it's nasty and I can't, I'm trying to pierce. It's just gross. It's like gross in my tummy. It's some type of spell work. It's some type of, but it's not necessarily spell working that a witch does, like weaving spells, compounding spells together. It's literally expert attack, but they picked the wrong victim. The expert found somebody that was more expert than them, but didn't even use that gift. It's like a criminal breaking into the house of a cop or a federal agent, and everybody here that we're talking about knows how to pick a lock, but one person is on the good team, any other person's on the bad team or enemy teams. Let's call it that. So they really stepped in it. But the thing is that they're not in a space, a place where they can recognize a hangman. They need to gain a different perspective. All they have is perception right now. So if they're doing a baseline, basic level reading, they should have started practicing or learned the practice of peeking below the surface because whatever was presented is not what it was underneath the hood. Okay? I'm just going to tell you like that. So we have a pair of knights here, Knight of Wands and Knight of Cups. What does that mean? There's also a Sagittarius rising here, as I said. Yeah, something's coming through. What is going to happen? Mm, this is even worse. There was a strategy and an agenda and a plan and a projection, a mirage even. And somebody stayed in this holding pattern thinking like, oh, I can make it work. because it should have been a union. It should have been partnered up. But this energy quickly turned sour. And if there was any type of agreement, because I'm not seeing it, Six of Cups always means there's an agreement, but there's no type of mutually beneficial, nourishing, needs exchange. There's no kind of exchange at all. It says that we're of an opposing mind, Two of Swords. We are not on the same page. Nine of Swords. This is distressing. Three of Swords. This has been blocked, suspended, terms and conditions have been imposed, or there's a third party. Because it's saying if this energy came in clean and righteous, there could have been some type of union, communion. There's not that now, and then it'll never be. It's now inimical. There was never a convergence. There was never a coming together. It could have been very harmonious energy, but it will not be that way no more. Not no more, no more. So what's this triple three? We have the Three of Pentacles, Three of Swords, and the Three of Cups. What's this triple three? A triple three is cliques, covens, and cabals. Something here got revoked, withdrawn. Nine of Pentacles. Now this other side knows what's up, but they had to grow into this energy, and that's only after being left to their own devices. They're still trying to choose this connection, trying to come back to it, and it might not be a romantic connection. But the thing that really resonates with them or attracts them is that we're fine in our own energy. We're fine. A lot of people don't know what to do when they're not in conflict or don't know what to do when they're not in love. And we seem to be unbothered, and it's really, really, really confusing somebody. So we have a pair of sevens here. What is that about? There's a message page of source that came in late. They're feeling concussed, and we're feeling boundary, betrayed, really. This is a wound because they came in some kind of way. Maybe unhealed, unawakened, maybe stupid, crazy, la loco, delulu, something like that. I don't know. I'm not trying to judge here. So it seems like the way that they came in and the way that they handled things really was not the right thing. And instead of taking a clue or having curiosity, investigation, examination, or instead of self-reflecting, they dug down, they doubled down, they dug in. And so when they finally did come to a place of reflecting, saying like, hey, did something wrong? Did this not work or whatever? It was way, way, way too late. They didn't catch the warning until after. They didn't start to wake up and gain a clue until after, way after. What's this pair of sixes? Because there was a judgment, but also there was some type of gift. We have the Queen of Swords here. Yeah, so this other side lost, and they're crying about it. But in front of them is disappointment. Behind them is a karmic lesson, and that's not where they're at right now. They want to compete. They want to prove a point. They want to try to get this relationship or connection or union or whatever. It's a union. It doesn't always have to be romantic, but I'm starting to see more cups in the clarifiers. There's a Scorpio rising here, Sagittarius rising here. Cancer rising here. Venus in the 10th house, the 7th house, or Capricorn. Venus in the second house, seventh house, or Taurus. Venus in the third house, seventh house, or Gemini. There's also a Virgo rising. So we feel discernment and distress because there's something lingering from something that fell down some time ago. It already kind of went splat. This other side is feeling left out and they're going through some type of hardship. And they still are contemplating why. They've discovered a lot of things, but it's kind of already too late as well. I want to know what this devil with the Nine of Swords is, because it says that we need to cut cords and let go even more, even though we've probably done a lot of that. Because what we want, what we desired was some kind of testimony or witness. We wanted to assist the situation before, and by the time the situation started to progress, we had already left because too much bad had gone down. There's still a lot there though, but it's not necessarily something we're going to work. There's sometimes when you do a one thing or two things, something went too far. It's the end of moderation. Death card in the temperate. It's the end of moderation. This is too much. These cards are doing too much. Too eager to talk. I don't want to listen. Um, I want to get out of this energy. So something is. It's. I'm gonna be honest. Something is trying to project a healing, a reconciliation. It's not being seen. They want another chance, and no, you did what you did. I felt what you felt. The situation was what it was. You're forgiven. Stay away from me. People don't want to hear that. They're like, but. Yeah, it's fine. Who I used to be was attracted to you. Who I am now, you need to get to know who I am today, and who I am today wouldn't give you the time of day. That's the reality of the situation. Sometimes you have to take lessons into your new relationship. You can't go back to former relationships and repair them. You make amends for your behavior, and part of your amends is keeping space, keeping your distance, giving space. Somebody here is going to have to abandon the desire to nurture and to build here because it does feel like an abandonment. Five of Pentacles. What it is a hardship. What it is an austerity, but it's going to feel like being abandoned. In relationships, there's always one person that wants to preserve their own autonomy, and there's always a person that wants to preserve the connection. It's very rarely the same thing. You don't find a giver and a giver together. You don't find an avoidant and an avoidant together. You find that there's always we subconsciously attract what we're missing. So the person in the upper hand with the upper hand in the relationship is the one that's not as interested. And that's what this is. It's not that we're not interested, it's that we healed from whatever this was, Temperance card. And we gave a lot of energy trying to work it out. Three of Cups, Three of Pentacles. But we surrendered, Hangman. And what we were surrendering to was the devil. That means we were stuck in a hard place. So after that happened, we were going to get out. Because even if we go back, we will feel distress, Nine of Swords. It's a no. It's a no. Now, one thing I will say is that this means that the situation is almost over, but it probably was lingering. It probably was a very difficult cycle. However, it's suspended. It's just still right, and it's still there in broad daylight. We could think about it, and the universe will start reflecting it back to us. It's not completely out of our energetic field, but we're blossoming new, and but it's in a different direction. This other side is thinking like, oh, okay, but there's still love, so why don't we try? No, it's not about. It's not about none of that. Acknowledge what you did and go away. Doesn't matter what feelings I still have. That's inconsequential. You keep coming up with all these reasons to stay. I'm trying to go. You don't get to hack off a limb and then expect me to be grateful that you brought me a prosthetic. I'm not going to tiptoe all around your feelings when you were once tap dancing all over mine. And it's not about holding a grudge or proving a point. It's about you don't get to comment on my healing if you're the one that caused me the harm I needed to heal from. You don't get to enjoy my peace of mind. You don't get to enjoy my success if you left me while I was struggling. You don't get to sit front row at the grand opening if you left during the rehearsal. If you abandon me during the struggle, you're not going to come when it's good times again. So we have this budding future, all these things to go out and experience. And what we're looking at is somebody that's got to be stuck where they are. We have to leave them behind. We can't take them with us. And they're hoping, wishing, praying, pleading. And we do not care. Our back is to them. Our back is to them. They can plead all they want. And it's not a punishment. It's like when I was giving you attention, you weren't giving it back to me. And now that I'm not giving you attention, you want to come running and crying and all and hooting and hollering and yelling and yodeling and quabbling and quibbling. Bye. It sucks, buddy, but sometimes it be like that, player. That's just what it is, how it is. So what is this end of no, we talked about that already. Okay. What is this stuck in a hard place? Okay. Well, this energy is not going to let up. So we just got to do what we do. What we do is starve it then. Let it die. Don't give it the time of day. If you feed it, it will eat you because it's never going anywhere. I wouldn't advise to do a double that you know versus double that you don't know when there's a double seven, especially the double sevens that I hate, which is the cups and the swords together. That means not only is there an illusion on a facade, but there is something that's an imposter. Something was fake. Something was intentionally misleading and manipulative. It confirmed by the Page of Swords, and I get it if there's taboo here. Three of Swords and Devil. That's for them to work out. On our end, it's distressing. We've got to get out. We've got to move on. There's no Two of Cups here. That's the Two of Swords. It doesn't matter the union. They're a false twin. They're a fallen angel. We can't give to this. So it's been an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to serve. Thank you for allowing me to do so. I'm going to use these cards, Pop of Love, Oracle by Bible by the Tarot, just because I'm feeling it. And I'd like to get some closing clarity. Yeah, it was catalytic because it says karmic partner. and it came out in reverse, which is the narrative. It doesn't always mean negativity. Sometimes it does if it's a sign, like Libra, for instance. But this one's positive. I know I'm settling if I'm not with you, but I feel as if I'm stuck because I'm afraid of change. I'm used to what I have, even if it is not enough for me. I'm working on feeling deserving of you. Turbulent with plenty of highs and lows, red flags, codependency, arguments, miscommunication. They test us and our understanding of love and relationships and our boundaries. But see, it was designed to be fulfilled. When this came in from the heavens, it was supposed to be fulfilling. But it was a catalyst because it woke them up. Impossible to avoid, big impact on future questions, our belief system, important life altering event. There are so many barriers stopping us from being together. I'm trying my best to become a better person so I can knock down the walls for you and eventually with you. Well, something spoiled this. The agreement is suspended. It's no longer being honored, and the heavens are saying that. So after suspension comes revocation. After revocation comes cancellation. We are just waiting on the universe to let us out of this agreement, Six of Cups. I'll be honest, that's just what it is, and this is how it's going to be. It's been a delight and an honor and a privilege to serve you. Thank you for allowing me to do so. If anything that was said resonates deeply with you, go ahead and smash that like button. We deliberated the correlative and corresponding energy from the Sibilla Daily Oracle. That's by Los Scarabeo. This was some guidance about the need for discernment. We're estranged from a form of energy that is a late bloomer. They're a late arrival. The things we wanted from them, they're finally doing them, but it's a little too late because we had to withdraw and to move on. And now they're expecting us to spin the block. The thing is to go back to where we used to be with this person, we have to go back to a former part of ourselves that we've grown out of and matured. If you finally moved into a house after 20 years of living in an apartment, you're not going to move back into an apartment. If you've graduated to filet mignon or to, vegetables from your garden, you're not going to go pick them up from the supermarket if you don't need to. Something here is just going to suck for a while. It's going to ache for the person that can't get back with us, and it's going to ache for us because we're not yet let out of this agreement. But the only way out of it is to not feed it anymore. So a quick prayer for all those still lost out there to illusion, delusion, confusion, lost in the seas of time, trapped somewhere in the matrix, yet to heal, yet to awaken, yet to return to the resplendent grace of the divine, unconditional, loving, universal oneness. We love you. We're sorry. Please forgive us. Thank you. We ask that our steps be ordered, our path be illuminated, and that we find salvation and redemption in this life. May we be happy, may we be whole, may we be at peace, may we receive everything we ever wanted, starting with what we deserve. Until we meet again, until we read again, namaste, dandava, and ashe. Sayonara, das vidani, avida. Smash that like button. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.